Hi, welcome to my video on review 1 of logs and natural logarithms. This review is on the videos 1 to 8, and as in all reviews we can mark it as a quiz, and this one will be marked at a 45. So you mark each question as you do it, total of each page, put it over 45, divide 45 into the numerator, get a decimal, move your decimal 2 places to the right to get a percent. So let's see how well you know the first 8 videos. Express as a single log. 1 over the log of 7 base 12 plus 1, subtract 2, the log of 2 base 7. So notice I see a 7 here as a base, and I see a 7 here. 1 over, so 1 over is you're enabled to flip them around, so that's the reciprocal of the log of 7 base 12 is the log of 12 base 7. And also the 2 goes, as the power rule of 2 goes up to the power of 2, so that makes it 2 squared, so that makes it 4. So both of these have base 7s. So 1, so we want the log of the base 7. So what? 1 is the same as the log of 7 base 7, so 7 to the 1 power gives you 7. So again, that's equivalent to 1. Now that we have all the bases is 7, we've got the sum of 2 logs is a product, and subtraction is the quotient, so we got 12 times 7 divided by 4. So that's the log base 7, 4 into 12 goes 3, 3 7s are 21. So there it is as a single log. So if you have this step, you get a mark, or you get more than one mark. You get a mark for these two, you get a mark for this one, and then you get a mark here. So a mark, let's look at this way, a mark for this line, a mark for this one, a mark for that one, 3 marks altogether. Number 2, state the domain of y equals the log of negative 2x plus 6. Well, in a log, negative 2x plus 6, this number has to be greater than 0. You can't do the log of 0 or a negative. So negative 2x is greater than negative 6. Divide by negative 2. And so x, and when you divide an inequality by a negative, you change the direction, greater than to less than, and that's a 3. So if you have this statement, you get 1 mark. If you have the answer, x is less than 3, 2 marks. Number 3, solve for x. So we have the log of 81 base 3, log of 6 base 6, and we have the log of 125 base 5. So we can go what power of 3 gives you 81? That's a 4. What power of 6 gives you 6? So that's a 1. And 1/2. And what power of 5 gives you 125? So the answer is 3. And now we simplify these. So that's a 4. So a 4 1/2. So let's look at a half is 2 to the negative 1. 4, that becomes a 4, so 4 is 2 squared. Notice we have all the bases the same. So we get a power of a power, so we multiply, so that's 2 is the base. 2 times 2x, 2 times negative 1, and negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Since they have the same base, the exponents are equal. And we move the negative 2 to the right to make it positive. So we get 4x equals negative 1. And we divide by 4. So x is equal to negative 1/4. And there's 4 marks. If you have this step, you get a mark. If you have this one, you get a mark. And if you let them equal, you get a mark, and you get the answer. 4 marks altogether. Number 4, the log of And how you say it, this is inside, so it's the log of this log, base 1/3 equals -1. So this is the base, -1 is the exponent, and is equal to the log of 8 with the base of x minus 1. 1/3 to the -1 is the reciprocal, so that's the 3 equals log 8x minus 1. So what we have a base. So if I rewrite that as the log of x minus 1, log of 8 base x minus 1 equals 3, that's the base, that's the exponent, and 8 is the number. So we have a cube, so we get a cube root, so we'll do 1/3 the power on each side. They cancel. I get x minus 1. 8 to the 1/3, the cube root of 8 is 2. X equals 2 plus 1. So x is 3. And if you have 3, you get 4 marks. If you've made a mistake going through, so if you have this step, you get a mark. If you have this step right here, you get a mark. And if you have this step with the 1/3, you get a mark. If you solve it, you get another mark. 4 marks altogether. So the total for this page is 13. Hopefully everything is going well. Let's continue. Number 5, express y as a function of x, which means you have equation. I put y on the left and I put x on the right. So first I have to simplify this equation. I have logs, so the power rule we do first. So the 3 goes up to the power of 2, so 2 cubed is 8. The log of y plus 7 is okay. And the half goes up to the power of x minus 1. And so we did the power rule first. First rule in writing a single log is to do the power rule. Now we have the sum of two logs is the log of the product. So we multiply 8 times y plus 7. And the sum of two logs is the log of the product. So we get x minus 1 to the half and the 24. So let's put the 24 in front as a multiplication. The log of 24 times x minus 1 to the half. Because we have the log of the same on each side and the base is 10 understood, that means 8 times y plus 7 is equal to 24x minus 1 to the half. And I could multiply 8 by the y and 7, but if I divide by 8 on each side, the 8's cancel and I get y plus 7 is equal to 3 times x minus 1 to the half. So y equals 3 times x minus 1 to the 1/2 minus 7. So I could leave it like that, or 1/2 as a power means square root, so I could write that as the square root of x minus 1 minus 7. So there's this log equation solved for y. So y is a function of x. And so we have 5 marks. So if you have this one right here, you get a mark. If you have this one right here, you get a mark. And if you have, let's see, we got the multiplication. And if you divide it, we got this is a mark. Move to 7. And so 5 marks altogether. Give yourself 5 marks. If you get to this answer, you got 5 marks. Number 6, find the value of x. So we got 3 raised to power is the log of 2 to the x minus 4 base 2 equals 1. That means 3 log base 2, 2 to the x minus, and since that base is 3, 1 is understood to be 3 to the 0. So that means the bases are the same, so that means the log of 2 to the x minus 4 equals 0. So that means that if we have the log of a base, and this base here is the same as this one, that means x minus 4 equals 0. That means x is equal to 4. That's one way to do it. Since these two are the same at this log, then this power, this expression becomes x minus. Another way to do it would be go base, exponent, number. So that means that 0 equals x minus 4. So x equals 4. That's another way to do it. And you have 4 marks. So if you have that, you have a mark. If you have, they make them equal, you have a mark. If you have x is equal to 4, x minus 4 equals 0. So 4 marks altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total up your page, and you have, should have, hopefully you have a 9. And let's continue, number 7. And I remind you that the questions are done in the order of the videos. Find the exact value of x. So we have base 2s and base 3s. So because we have base 2s here, when you're multiplying, you add. So x plus 1, add on x is 2x plus 1. And again, you're dividing, you have like bases. So I'll do the algebra on this one. So there's 2x minus 1, subtract x minus 1. So that gives you 2 to the 2x plus 1. And this one is 2x minus 1. When you subtract, you get a negative x plus 1. So that becomes 2 to the 2x plus 1. 3, the 1's cancel, and you get an x. So we want the exact value. So that means we will, in order to get at the x's, we have to do the log of each side. So we'll do the log of each side. The log allows you to move the exponent, which has the x in it, 2x plus 1, as the power rule moves in front. And the power rule, the x moves in front. So we multiply by log 2, so it's 2x log 2, and 1 times log 2 is log 2, x log 3. And we're solving for x, so we group the x's together, so 2x log 2 minus x log 3, so you bring this over to group the x's. And we move log 2 to the right side and make it a negative. So we factor out the x because it's common. So take x out, you get 2 log 2 minus log 3. And so that means we divide by 2 log 2 minus log 3 on each side. It cancels. So x is equal to negative log 2 all over 2 log 2 minus log 3. So if you want to leave it like that, you can, but you can go x is equal to the negative log 2, and this is the power rule of 2 goes to the power of 2 here, so 2 squared makes it a 4, and so that gives you log 4 minus log 3, and because we're subtracting logs, it's the log of a quotient, so it's 4 over 3. So there's 6 marks for the, so if you have this answer or if you have this answer, it's either one will do. So it's a mark here. And if you did the log of each side by, mark there, what am I saying? Mark, if you add and subtract these and get to here as a mark. If you did the log of each side, you get a mark. If you group your x's, if you multiplied here, you get a mark. If you group your x's, you get a mark. If you divide it here, you get a mark. So 6 marks in total. Hopefully everything is going okay. So again, this is the answer, or this could be the answer, your choice. Number 8, find x to the nearest 100. So we have logs on each side, but we always do the power rule first. So we take the 2 and we raise it. Take the 2 and raise it to the power of 4. So that becomes, that's a 16, but I can work that out. So the subtraction of logs is the log of division. So that's a 16 and you're dividing. And this is the same log, same basis. So when you're adding logs, you multiply. So since you have the log on each side, same base, 3 to the x divided by 16 is equal to 20. Put the 20 over 1, cross multiply. 3 to the x equals 20 times 16 is 320. And we need to get to the x, so we do the log of each side. And the x goes in front because of the power rule. And now we divide by each side by log 3. So x, that cancels, x is equal to the log of 320 divided by the log of 3. And when you take your calculator, log of 320 divided by log of 3, you get a 5.35. And there's 6 marks. So if you combine to get the 16, right here, we did the power rule first. If you have this step, you get another mark. If you have this step, you get another mark. If you cross multiply, you get another mark. If you did the log of each side and you simplified it down to here, you get another mark. So 6 marks down through, 5.25 is your answer. And total up your page, hopefully you have a 12. Find x to the nearest 1,000. Notice we have a log of x plus 2, the base is 6. Notice here we have the base is 3. So we can't say that x plus 2 equals 40 because the bases are not the same. So we can go the log of x plus 2 over the log of 6. The rule we learned back in exponentials in the algebra 2. This is the log of 40 divided by the log of 3. So the log of BA is the log of A divided by the log of B. That's a rule we learned back in algebra 2 on logs. So because we have two fractions equal, we can cross multiply. But if you take a shortcut, we can go log x plus 2. So notice these two will go together. So it's log 6 times log 40. And because the log 3 is multiplied by the log of x plus 2, then it would be right here as a multiplication. So we'll just leave it right there. So if you just took log of 6 multiplied by the log of 40, it moves right there, and this just stay. So this is the log of x plus 2. When you take your calculator and take the log of 6 times the log of 40 divided by the log of 3, that gives you 2.6128. Now, we notice that we have a log, and this base is 10. So we go, 10 is understood. So base, exponent, number. So x is equal to 10 to 2.6128 minus 2. And that means that when you take your calculator and raise 10 to this power and subtract 2, that will give you, the calculator gives you 408.0599, and to the nearest 1,000, it's 408.0, and this is the thousandth place right here. So you add 1 on, So it gives you 0, that gives you 6. If you want to put a 0 there, which is not necessary, that's the correct answer. So 5 marks, 1 there, and you cross multiply here, you get another mark. You write your base 10, you get another mark. If you write that, you get another mark. And that's 5 marks altogether. So I got 4 here. So give yourself, this is the key step here of getting it. So 2 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 marks altogether. And the last problem, the price of a car increased each year by 4.75%. If the price in 2020 was $36,000, what year will the price be $49,800? Well, we have a formula that has A, or we can go P for price if you want. P, make that a P, P, PO, and we have the base, and T over C. But notice the price is increasing, so that means P equals PO, and the base is 1 plus the rate, T over C. So we have P to be 49,800. The initial price was 36,000, and we have the rate as 4.75, which is 4.75. That's a percent, and as a decimal is 0.0475. And we want to find what the time, and it's happening. C is every year. So P is 49800. PO is 36,000. We have 1 plus the rate is 4.75% is 0.0475. And we want to find T, and is over 1. So we divide by 36,000, and that gives us 49.8 divided by 36,000 gives me 1.388 when you use your calculator. And 1 add on this decimal is 1.045, 1.1.0475 raised to the T power. And again, I like to just swing that around to have the T in the front, just something the way I do it. Now I'll do a log of each side. So I do the log of 1.0475 to the T. Why do you do a log? To, as I say, get the T. T is now, because I do log, T is a power, so I move the T in front. And now I divide. So T equals the log of 1.383 divided by the log of 1.0475. So T comes out to be 6 in the calculator, 6.987. So that means T is close to 7 years. So 2020, add on 7 years. So 2027, the car, which was 36,000, will be 49.8. And there's 6 marks for this question. So if you have this one written out, right here, and if you have this one, another mark, and if you have the log, this total equation is there, and you solved it there, and you did the log of each side, and you rewrote it to there, and you got your 7, and you add it up. So 6 marks in total for our series. So if you have 20, 27, give yourself 6 marks. 11 for that page total. And what you do, you go back, you add up all the pages, you add up all your pages, and you put it over 45. Again, divide 45 into whatever number you have, change it to a decimal, and move it 2 places to the right to get your percent. And hopefully you understand how to do the first 8 videos. And again, if you like my video, click the like button. Click the subscribe button if you want to be a subscriber. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.